I want to talk about how to build a real estate investing team. More specifically, where, when, and how to hire. Because there is a lot of information out there about VAs, what they do, where you should hire them. But really, there is a little bit of confusion, especially as a new real estate investor, that is when should I go out and hire a VA? And where can I find a VA? So I want to talk about that here for a few minutes. Now, if you're new to real estate, my suggestion is that you start really, really slow. Okay. A lot of the strategies that we teach are actually designed to really get you going with very little to no help on the outside source. So you don't have to worry about getting a VA off the ground if you don't want to. But there are some partners or components here that would be very good for you to have from the beginning. Number one, a title company, and it's not really a virtual assistant per se, but is a partner of your team that you really need to have on board, because having the right title company that you can work with and or closing attorney is so crucial. They can make your life so much easier. So ideally, what is a good title company for a real estate investor? It's a title company that understands the specific needs of real estate investing. If you're wholesaling, that they will allow you to do assignments or double closing. If you're buying rental properties or fix and flip, that they understand having escrows, allowing for inspections, doing mobile closings, virtual closings. There are a lot of platforms and title company now that accept that you can actually close online on the computer via Zoom. Okay, so having a title company that is flexible and can work with you, that would probably be like the first team member that I would look for. Second one, boots on the ground. If you're doing this virtually, especially long distance, you want somebody that can be your eyes and ears, that you can trust, that can be out there looking at properties, showing your properties, inspecting the properties, and so forth. So having somebody that is your boots on the ground, I would put that at the top, even when you start your real estate business, to really have somebody you can rely with. So it could be a family member, a friend, it could be somebody that you hire, a real estate agent, somebody that you can work with that you can trust, and a lot of time it is a selection process to get the right person. And then the third one is to really establish your network. We have a great community here, Real Estate Investing Women, but also you want to establish a network in the area where you invest. Find some good real estate groups, okay, that they meet. I know we are in this virtual world here with Facebook and everything else, but to have the ability to actually meet people and do exchange and networking is still very powerful. Okay. And because also to be a real estate investor is a very lonely business, and I'm sure you agree, and that's why we have such an amazing community here, because we we thrive on the fact that we can support each other through this business. Otherwise, we just be sitting by ourselves trying to figure things out. Okay, so title company, having boots on the ground, and networking, those would be the first three team members. And how do you find them? Well, the title company is, honestly, if you can do word of mouth, that would be the great. And that goes back to connecting with local groups and networking, and find out who other investors use for their specific needs. If you're wholesaling, buying, holding, fix and flip, that's always the best. And if you can't get that, then there are some online resources you can go to, like Facebook groups, Bigger Pockets, Active Rain. These are great platforms where they give you referrals on real estate professionals. Okay, so that's how you can find title company. And like everything else, is a selection process. Same thing for boots on the ground. You start with your immediate circle, family, friends, somebody you know with, and then expand your circle. And if you can't find anybody that you know with, then again, go online, interview real estate agents, especially the newer and younger ones that are new in the business, younger as far as new in the business. Those are great because they are still looking to expand their business and are not too busy to work with people, right? So definitely, that's why we'll look for boots on the ground. And then, like I said, networking. There are different platforms out there. There is the National RIA Association. You can actually Google National RIA, and they have all the RIA certified groups by state and cities that you can look up. And so that would probably be the most reliable source for like serious groups. Then another groups for landlord, there is the Landlord National Association. They also have their own meetings for people that are looking into landlords. So looking for really, veritable associations that are tested, and they actually, can bring a lot of value. Now, once you start, so like I said in the beginning, we really push the students to go ahead and do what we call the quick wins. You don't need all VAs, you don't need anything complicated to really get going, do some deals, right? And so that's the best thing, because to you go out there and get, first of all, hands-on experience yourself in the beginning. I always say in real estate, the more money you make, the less you work, because honestly, the more money you make, now you have the money to hire people and take things off your plate. But there's nothing wrong for you to get your hands dirty. I still do from time to time. I do things that I shouldn't be doing, because honestly, it's good for me to keep up with the times, see what works, technology and other things, which brings me to another point. There is a lot of technology out there nowadays that can really take a load off of. You don't need virtual assistants to skip trace, right? There are tools that can skip trace. Batch lead skip tracing can do it in 2 minutes. So, CRMs, there is a lot of things out there that are built to really take the load off without you having to hire an assistant for doing like that. But then eventually, yes, you do need a VA. You can train virtual assistants to pull lists, right? You crack the code, you figure it out yourself. Let's talk about the evictions. You figure out how to pull the eviction list, and you can train a VA to pull the eviction list, right? We have training that shows everything, how to pull an eviction list, and I show you in the screen how to do that. But then you do it one time. I did it a couple times, and then I recorded the video, and I show my VA all the time what to do. So when I hire a new VA, I don't have to sit down and explain all over again, right? I can just use the video. So that's one thing. And so then you can do, the VAs can do, the texting, the preliminary calling, of screening people. They can organize your CRM. So there is a lot of things they can do, like the tasks, the manual things, so that you're working more on the business instead of in the business. So as you develop the business, figure out what team members do you need and want, what is really that you like to take off your plate. And then work with the best professionals. I always say that your business is as strong as your weakest link. Think about that. Your business is as strong as your weakest link. So, if you have a weak link, that's it, right? Your business cannot grow anymore. So be very selective who you hire, and build a network and foster continuous learning in them. Make sure they're trained. Make sure that when you go through some training about real estate or something, that they know as well what you are learning, okay? And establish clear communication. For example, we use Slack a lot as a communication channel. So make sure that you have this interchange. I heard a lot of the time Zoom meetings could be substituted by Slack, right? So don't waste too much time on Zoom. Slack, messages, quick messages here and there. And encourage collaboration and synergy, meaning that get their input. What do they want to do? What would they like to know, right? And then how would they think that the business could be made better? Now, where do you hire these people? Well, word of mouth, as far as hiring platforms, are the best. Personally, we like to hire for certain things. We hire stateside. Yes, it's more expensive, pay $12 to $15 an hour. But, things where we have to deal with, especially with calls, or things where they have a communications with our leads, we hire through Indeed. That's what we use as a platform, Indeed. We have very good experience with that. Now, as far as VAs for, kind of routine more stuff, we have used VA for REI. Actually, now we are experiencing within our platform. It's called Elevate, VA Elevate. So we will let you know how the platform works if we think it's working good for us. And they hire $5 an hour plus a setup fee. And that's the other thing. Make sure when you hire an agency, especially overseas, that they don't charge you like, $1,000 for 40, 50 hours of work, because that comes to $20 an hour. Might as well hire one stateside. We like to pay anywhere $5 to $7 an hour for our virtual assistants, and a setup fee with somebody to screen them and find them for us, for the same thing we do with Indeed, right? But that is a much more affordable solution, and honestly gives a more control on who we hire. And in the long run, it's going to be more cost effective. So I just wanted to give you some tips here on the actually, nuts and bolts of team building, and what you need to look for, and the first few steps on hiring somebody to help you, and some of the platforms that you can use to really expand your team that we use. Take care.